Phetlhu, and I'm a quantity surveyor by profession. I've been asked today to share a few insights into the profession. So I'll be answering a few questions, starting with question number 1, which is the minimum requirements to get into school to study quantity surveying. The minimum requirements at my time when I was studying were maths, English, physics, and accounting. Though accounting is optional, it was just an advantage having done accounting in high school. Number 2 is the institutions that offer this course. These institutions are most of the technicons or University of Technologies and the traditional universities. So your TUT, which is where I studied, UP, UJ, WITS, CPUT, and MMU, all those I believe would offer the course. Question number 3 is how difficult it was for me to get employed. For me, I was an international student when I studied, so I had to come back home, mainly because I couldn't get a job in SA because the jobs were geared towards SA citizens. Every job post that was open was specifically saying that they wanted SA citizens, so I had to come back home to Botswana. And when I came back home, I was fortunate in that I have relatives that are already practicing in the industry, whether it be QS, civil engineering, but they are involved in the construction and built environment industry to some extent. So I didn't struggle to get a job once I got back home. But also the government of Botswana has, they have in-service trainings and job postings that they find for graduates. So if you're a graduate, you just go to the government and submit your degrees and your transcripts, and then they'll call you for either in-service training or a job opening within a governmental organization. So that was also another option that I had I not had the advantage of having relatives present in the industry. Question number 4 is a typical day in the life of a quantity surveyor. First of all, quantity surveying is usually done hand in hand with construction management. That was my experience at TUT. It's that in the Department of Building Sciences, those of us that were interested in either quantity surveying or construction management were all attending classes together, except for the core subjects of quantity surveying and construction management. But all our other subjects were done together as a group. So a quantity surveyor stroke construction manager can be interchanged. A lot of quantity surveyors in Botswana, actually, their degrees are in construction management and construction economics. So they're able to practice as quantity surveyors as well because the subjects are so interlinked. So as a quantity surveyor, I'm not only limited to the construction industry because we are basically the financial managers of construction projects. So I could work in a bank, I can work in the estate industry, I can work as a developer, I can work for a contractor, I can work for a consulting agency or consultancy. So I can be a contracts manager, contracts administrator, I could be a quantity surveyor, I could be a construction manager, I could be a project manager after having done the course, adding the course of construction management to my original QS degree. And I can also be an arbitrator also. That would require further study, but basically that's the idea of it, that we are the financial managers of construction projects, but we are not limited to just being the financial managers because our duties also include contract administration and estimating and final accounts and works progress. We can be auditors as well because we do a lot of reporting on the overall cost of the project. So we basically audit any given project that we are involved in. So it's not really limited to just saying you're a quantity surveyor. Question number 5 is any motto or Bible verse that I stick to or I believe in or I follow religiously. And for me personally, I don't have a specific motto or Bible verse that I stick to. I just live by the principles that were taught to me by my mother and my father. So no verse, no motto, but they're all, for lack of a better saying, they're all basically biblical in a sense because they're all derived in some way or another from the Bible. So I cannot pinpoint one that I would say is the one sticking point or motto or Bible verse that I would go. My advice to a prospective university student wanting to study QS is that you need to be sure that it's something that you want to study, because you are getting involved in the construction and built environment industry, which has its own life cycles. You have years of good projects, prosperity, etc., and then you have what we call a construction slump, is that it goes down in the same way it occurs during the recessions. So it's not for the faint-hearted, and it's not for somebody looking to make a quick buck. That is also another advice I would give, that don't enter into any profession related to the construction industry with the mentality of making money, because it requires patience and it requires you to be really, really sure that it's what you want to do. That was the advice I got, that think first before you just really decide that that's what you want to do, because it's not an easy industry to be in, especially as a woman as well, and a young woman at that, because a lot of people practicing in the industry are actually quite older, and they are setting their ways and their views about women and construction and young people in construction. So I would advise that don't just consider it in your final year of high school. Start thinking about it from grade 10 upwards, even as early as your first year of high school. Start thinking about what it is that you want to do. And if it's quantity surveying, good. Then you have years to really look into it and consider what it entails and what you need, and make a decision if it's truly what you want to do. Because it's not an easy world to be involved in the construction industry. And if you're looking just to make a quick buck, it's not for you. It's something that you need to be passionate about. It's something that needs to pique your interest as soon as you wake up, or when you encounter a problem that needs solving. It's something that needs to light a fire under your butt, basically. So that is all from me. Thank you, and I hope I've been helpful.